And so let's get into our passage here. If you can't stand the heat, you got to get out of the kitchen. Daniel chapter 3, verse 1. It says, King, anybody want to take a gander at that? Nebuchadnezzar. Well, we're going to call him King Nebi. Just so it just shortens it down a little bit. I can say King Nebi a lot quicker than I can say Nebuchadnezzar. But he made an image of gold 90 feet high and 9 feet wide and set it up on the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Everybody under the age of 15, plug your ears. Please. I wasn't planning on you guys being in here when I was about to say this. So. Can you imagine the statue? It's 90 feet high and only 9 feet wide. Doesn't it sound like he's got little man syndrome? Come on, Mark, you heard what I said.
Maybe he just likes himself.
Maybe he just likes himself. Who knows? All right, that's fine. But no, seriously. King Nebi, he was a nut. He was as crazy can be. And he made this gold image. And this is about what the passage is today. If you can't stand the heat, you got to get out of the kitchen. And God is going to challenge us, challenge every single person here, that not only do we live for God right here in the moment, that we take this tomorrow. Because I tell you what, here, let me just sidestep a few things. This is absolutely free. This is not in your outline. This is a freebie. It doesn't cost you a thing. I tell you what, I stand in the back of the building, back here this morning, and when I'm hearing this worship, God is just speaking to my heart, and it's just coming out of me. Man, I want to clap. I'm kind of dancing a little bit back and forth. I'm just enjoying it. You know, that's what happens. When we are in this kind of environment, it is easy to worship God. What happens when we go to work? Or school? That's the heat. Now, some of us have the privilege of working with great people. I know Angie works with some great people down at Sioux City. And April has some great friends at the hospital. But sometimes we don't always have that luxury. And so it's hard to live our faith on Monday morning. Right? And Josh knows what I'm talking about, right? Amen? Right there, yeah? It's hard to live my faith on Monday morning. That is what God's asking us to do. Take this experience that we have, take these passages, apply it to our lives, and then come out stronger. King Nebi made this big, huge statue, and what did he say? Let's jump down to verses 4 through 6. It's all here in your outline. It says, Then the herald loudly proclaimed, This is what you are commanded to do. Number one, most people don't like to be told what to do, right? Everybody feeling me here? O peoples, nations, and men of every language, as soon as you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the zither, the lyre, the harp, the pipes, and all kinds of music, you must fall down and worship the image of gold that King Nebi has set up. Whoever does not fall down and worship will immediately be thrown into a blazing furnace. You must. Now, you know what? I'm going to take this. Here's another freebie. All right, Kenda? I am tired of feeling like the culture of church has taken this approach. You've got to be just like us and worship just like us when God has made us all individuals. Everyone here this morning, you can know God yourself. You don't have to do it like I do it. You don't have to do it like Brandon does it. We can know God ourselves and have that relationship. And here's the situation. You must. If you don't do it, you're dead. Now see, King Nebi, he was the Babylon king. Which is, anybody know where Babylon is present day? Some of you guys know. Come on. Huh? Iraq. All right, yeah. Okay, just so we kind of, they conquered Israel. Because Israel wasn't living for God, and they were kind of living out on the edge like they were supposed to. They was kind of just living on Sundays with their faith. You know, they weren't living Monday through Saturday. And so God let them be conquered, and Nebuchadnezzar went and got all the good things that he could find, which included people. Bring me the smartest ones they have, the brightest ones, the strongest ones, and he was going to indoctrinate them. You are going to live like we live. And he took their names, their God-given names, and gave them Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These are Babylon God names. That's not their names their mom and daddy gave them. And he said, you must bow down. You must eat my food. You must drink our wine. And you know what they said? No. I'm not doing it. That's the message today. Now see here, I want you to look at this next passage here. Daniel chapter 3, verse 15b. But if you do not worship it, you will be thrown immediately into a blazing furnace. Then what God? What's it say? What God? You're thrown into, then what God will be able to rescue you? The challenge. Alright, so here's what we're going to learn today. Number one. Well, this is not number one, but this is the take-home message. It's right here. First thing that if you're following along with me, it's something that if you want to fill it in, it just helps you. It helps you assimilate it a little bit better. A faith that's tested by fire is a faith that can be trusted. Who's been through a battle? Come, raise your hand. I've been through, some of you guys have been through literal battles. Some of us have been through emotional battles. Some of us have gone through battles within our families. Who's been through a battle and come out the other side stronger? Raise your hand. Come on. I have. A faith that is tested by fire is a faith that can be trusted. If we can survive the battles that are put in front of us, we come out stronger, wiser sometimes. You know, sometimes my battles are poor decisions, and I know now not to make that decision. You know, these things that we're tested by, and we can survive and get through them, we are better. And see, that's what God has intended here. So a faith that is tested by fire is a faith that can be trusted. It's not a fake faith, a pseudo-faith, a weak faith. Now I'll tell you, all of us sitting here this morning, there is an area of weakness in our faith that everyone has. I have. I have weaknesses in my faith. But those are the things that God's working on in me, and He's going to work on those in you to help us get stronger, live closer to Him, walk a little bit closer. And so here, let's look at these things. I've got 3 things that I want to share with you this morning. They're in your outline here. When your faith is tested by fire, we need to obey God's commands instead of man's expectations. Can you agree with that? Jay expects me, to show up at church at 9 o'clock. Man, don't care about what Jay expects. Let's care about what God commands. Jay expects me to act a certain way or do a certain thing. Don't care what Jay says. Care about what God says. There's a lot of things that we say that aren't found right here. And if it's not found right here, it doesn't mean a thing. In the church I grew up with, she wouldn't, you wouldn't, but almost everybody else would be in trouble, all you ladies for wearing pants. Is that a God command or is that a man expectation? Say it again.
Man's expectation.
Man's expectation. I hope you've gotten around to meet Nick and Sharon. They were here. Their first service was on Easter. Nick's a great guy. Church I grew up in. And I don't think they'd like Nick's hairdo. Would they? Is that God's command or man's expectation? Man's expectation. What are we going to follow today?